Philip and Zed and these guys, and then Wadico. So we were the last, and when scientific rules would play anywhere close, we getting some good blows. Good blows. As a matter of fact, we started our first 2 gigs, we played in Cochrane, and I remember we made $12 in Cochrane.
$12?
Yeah, we made $12 in Cochrane, but it only is a feather. Nothing, does affect only. So we buy drinks with the $12 and we enjoy ourselves, play for ourselves, dance and enjoy ourselves, and we go. Then we played a lot in Hangout in Trafalgar also. And then we decided, well, something, we cannot compete with scientific rules, so we have to head out of town. So we decided we live in around Roseau and we head in Grand Fort. So Grand Fort was our second base because the bus stop was around the same Grand Fort around Wadico area. So we had a good following in Grand Fort until scientific rules decided to play in La Plaine. So once scientific rules played in La Plaine, we flocked.
But Nicky like trouble, man.
What? Scientific rules was the zero.
Eh.
Scientific rules at poor. And it was, the first time Dominicans had heard music sounding so powerful. So it was really rocking the people. I remember Ole used to tell me, "But Alex, one day we're going to reverse that. Do not worry, one day we're going to reverse that." So for a whole year, we played all over the country areas, and we decided we're not playing in Roseau. Until after a year, the Fatima Church had a feast, and they decided to check us. So we contemplated, they say, "Yeah man, let us do that." And then we decided we were going to do that, and from there for Dines, Problems. Pupa came, Dave came back from Guadeloupe, and from there Wadico stamp authority in Newtown. And not only stamp authority in Newtown, we stamp authority every single where we played. And the same blow scientific rules to give us, we come back and give them that same beating, man, I'm telling you. And the beautiful thing about it is we played Creole music, in abundance. And people could dance. Not like those days you get in woman, boom, boom, no, they're rare, they're posterior, no habeas, no sexiness in it. You take a lady out and you want to hold her and you want to dance, smell her perfume, feel her breasts on your chest. But those days, things have turned, you have to be your back towards back, and you know what I mean. But during the Wadico days, and one of the things, we used to get a complaint, by the way, and the complaint was if you're macking or you have been eyeing a girl and you do not hold her, it is better to forget her. Because the session was so tight that if any guy hold a girl before you're in trouble.
You're in trouble for the night.
Forget that girl and look for another girl. And that is what we made our name on, because we had a slogan, Wadico guaranteed to
make you dance. I remember that.
And everywhere we played, we were the first sound system to tour, and Jokam brought us to Guadeloupe, and we played the Mikawem on the streets of Guadeloupe. It was the first time that Guadeloupe had heard carnival, that kind of rhythm in the streets of Guadeloupe. And from there we moved from strength to strength. We were the first sound system to tour. We did several fundraising activities. We ended up in the anti-drug movement, and that's where I actually stopped drinking alcohol. Because this June, I make his June coffee. So we decided to do things for the youth. We realized that the youth was kind of straying into the drugs.
So you became an example?
Yes.
And you stopped drinking alcohol?
Yeah, I stopped drinking. As a matter of fact, we did 2 years of counseling at the youth center. I think Moving Paul was also part of that, myself, Ole, Moving Paul, and for the guys. We did therapeutic counseling, and we decided to go on an anti-drug movement. Pupa also was part of that. So we go on an anti-drug movement and try to educate the youth in our sound, because we were real popular. I'm talking about real popular for guys. And wherever we played, we would amass hundreds, and people would sweat, children would burn, and it was. No, I was telling you, because it was the kind of music we played.
And you made a few of those yourself?
I made a few. During those times. I had to.
Ole as well?
Ole I have a few too.
Oh, bye.
I think Ole is also in the region of 8. But then the most important thing is we were able to satisfy the dancing audience.
I think your theme or your tagline, whatever it was, said it all. Guaranteed to make you dance.
Yeah. And then towards the 1988, the reunion 1988, there was RSB band, and then Serenade in particular, and then CK just coming in. But we used to tag with Serenade and RSB. They used to play on our sound system. These guys were tight. I mean, no nonsense, strength. When you hear Serenade come and play halftime, these guys were not easy, I could tell you. And these guys actually made their name for themselves.
You assisted in that in any way?
Yes,
Wadico?
Wadico would invite them to play during our halftime. Because let's say we play in the Fist and Joe.
Oh, Luigi had halftime?
Well, yes.
Okay.
We were on top, you know, at the time.
Yes.
But then Calty, like I said, we went to school together, so it was very easy for us to relate to each other. So they would play during the halftime and no nonsense. These guys would really come out and belt some song after song like the sound system. We also toured with WCK as the big W's. Taught to St. Martin. Yeah, man, we taught to St. Martin as the big W's, WCK and Wadico. And in your interview with Cornell said the first jam was at the government house on Wadico sound system.
Aha.
Tim Dura checked us for that gig, you know. So we ended up into several non-traditional areas that bands, you know, did not actually venture into, and that's what made us household names. We gave several donations to the less fortunate. We gave donations to infirmary because I felt that we had to market the group because, you know, in marketing the group, people supporting you and you have to give back. And I think that was one of the keys to what you call success, giving back. So besides you must dance when you come, we gave back a lot.
And that's important.
Yeah,
that is important. At least, you know, I'm picking up from this. You entertained, but you also taught.
Yes.
The work you did with the youth.
Yes.
And the contributions that you made in terms of your philanthropy. You know, that seemed to have been important. But you also brought different genres of music from around the world to the Dominican people.
Well, actually, we introduced Zouk. Zouk was never heard in Dominica before. And we introduced Zouk into Dominica. We introduced Sukus, you know, to Dominica. That is from the Congo in Africa. We brought that to Dominica. We also brought the Afro Zouk, or Belly Bani, and those other things. We sort of assisted in reviving the music of the Kadas Lipso, because what we did is, after Hurricane David, most of the discs were damaged. So myself, Ole, Ibrahim Brohim, we went all over the country and looked for those records. And then Jokam did the same thing in Guadeloupe. What we wanted to do is to have every single kind of Calypso record that was ever produced. Sometimes we had to pay $3 for a record. And we went all over the country, myself and Ole, and then Brohim had a few, and he assisted us also. And we looked for all the Calypso. So we could then, by that time, you know, the turntable was just, you know, losing out, and then the
CDs
came into a new era of the transformation of music, and then we transferred all that into CDs. So I presently possess almost every single kind of stuff.
I would love to see what your library is like.
Yeah, over
your music library.
CDs strong.
17,000 CDs.
Yeah, CDs.
What about LPs and records? Do you still have some of those?
I still have all my LPs. In my storeroom. I still have all my LPs. And those days I see DJs, you know, just come in and put on a computer. But then I remember the days when we used to mix with cassette. We mix with cassette. A very important guy I forgot is a guy called Billy Balson from Fokani, and also Tennyson, his brother Tennyson Charleston.
From Point Michel.
Oh. Because he was the first to give us power amp. Okay. And those guys introduced us to more power to combat with the scientific rules. So Wadico was legendary. Small Axe, Corbu, all these guys were part of